to talk about something important. Turn off this buzzy amp first, though. This has been hitting me really hard lately. I feel like there used to be a whole subset of the population that was people in their early 20s all the way through their mid to late 40s who were able to survive on a part-time job, 25, 30 hours a week of work, whether that was at a grocery store or a coffee shop or maybe teaching lessons, whatever. And they could at least survive on that, maybe with a roommate or two, but they could pay their bills living in a place where there was a lot of music even, and spend the rest of their time working on music. And now that that population has seemed to have completely died out because of the cost of living and price of rent and everything, now it's just the young people who still live at home or the semi-retired people who have whatever other income sources, you know. And so this whole middle ground age group of people that it seems like used to exist like that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, at least the 60s, 70s, 80s for sure, maybe even into the 90s for sure. That was like the salt of the earth, the meat and potatoes of what made up so many of the really powerful musical social groups. That's what I've been able to ascertain from conversations I have with people of different generations and how things used to be, you know. And that seems to be one of the most significant changes for the worse. And, you know, I'm 32 years old. I work a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. And the problem is, if you want to do anything high level, meaning like virtuoso, or not even at like technical virtuosity, but, you know, like compositionally or getting a group together and, you know, making things happen and rehearsing together and playing together and such. If you're always sleep deprived because you're trying to wake up super early before work to practice or stay up super late after work to practice, then that hurts your practice. Your practice is never actually that good. And then people aren't really motivated. Like they'll get excited in the middle of the day talking about things like, oh yeah, this sounds great. But then at 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m., they're like, yeah, like maybe a few weeks or something. Like they're tired because they're working full time doing something that's not with their instrument in their hands. And it's just made things really hard. And I always feel like I'm trying to compete with people that aren't even alive anymore, who at my age were able to do so much more with such less money because things used to be more affordable. And because they could, even if they weren't a full-time musician yet, they could work a part-time job and at least survive. That's the way it seems. So let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm off base, if you were young and in your prime in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s as a musician. And I know that most people usually had it bad. Musicians have always, you know, historically not got paid that well. But when it was more affordable, was it easier to survive on a part-time job and have more time for music? And have you too seen those social groups from people in their 20s, 30s, 40s and such just disappear? Now, I'm not saying they don't still exist, but they're not at a high level.